Believe it or not, Detroit Lions are already on training camp day 15. We've already had joint practices with the Miami Dolphins, and I believe there's only one more public practice left on Thursday, a joint practice against the Houston Texans. Then we go on to our final preseason game, and then in just a few short weeks, man, the 2025 NFL season will be upon us. I believe the public only gets to go one more day, and that should be a good one. So Dan Campbell spoke about the joint practices coming up in today's press conference, but we're going to look at training camp day 15 observations, and as usual, we've got a few more to go. We're going to look at what Tim Twentyman had to say. Says, nice day for Arnold. I thought it was a really nice practice for second-year cornerback Terrion Arnold Monday. He was sticky in coverage in a 7-on-7 period on a deep shot from quarterback Jared Goff to wide receiver Isaac Tesla that fell incomplete because of Arnold's coverage. He also made a play on the ball thrown to by receiver Jameson Williams in the back of the end zone in a later team red zone period. Arnold has had a strong camp overall, despite missing a couple of weeks with an injury. And I must attest to that. He had a very tough rookie year. Very tough. He was on like the elite wide receivers, came out the gate. You got Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp. Then you've got Mike Evans, and the list went on and on. And when I saw him in training camp, he looked really good. That was just my opinion. He looked sticky. He looked quick. He looked like we talk about giving cornerbacks 3 years. He looks like he's going to take a really big leap for year 2, and I am excited about it. He does look good. Let me know in the comments below if you saw him in camp. Do you agree with me, disagree with me, or you have different thoughts? But what about Jameson Williams? It says route tree. Williams' speed makes him one of the best deep threats in the NFL, but in a 7-on-7 drill on Monday, he showed that he can be a similarly dangerous threat on short routes with the ability to run after the catch. Well, we did see that last year. Williams' first catch was a tight window reception with Arnold in sticky coverage and safety Rock Ya-Sin bearing down on him on an intermediate pass post route. He caught another ball on a short crosser in the team period and one more on a quick route. Well, we've already seen this, man. Jameson Williams took multiple like short, intermediate slants and stuff to the house. He's dangerous wherever he gets the ball, behind the line of scrimmage, just in front, or deep. So he can hit you either way. It's going to be very curious to see what Brad is going to do, because we're obviously not going to extend him this year. We got to worry about Hutch, but next year he's going to be on the last year of his deal. I'm very curious to know if next year this time we're talking about Jameson Williams getting an extension, and if so, how much. But what about the defense and the linebacker blitz? Let's take a look. See what he had to say. Linebacker blitz. Last season, under the direction of Aaron Glenn, Detroit's defense was an aggressive unit that had the second highest blitz percentage in the NFL at 34.6. Only Minnesota was higher at 38.9. This might be an even more aggressive unit under new defensive coordinator Kelvin Shepard. The blitz gave the Lions offense a few issues in team periods Monday. I counted would-be sacks on blitzes from linebacker Jack Campbell on 2 separate occasions and a sack by linebacker Grant Stewart as well. Grant Stewart, man, is all over the place. Dude is literally everywhere. He's all over the place, man. And I'm very curious, man. I was thinking about that watching the game on Saturday. I was like, are we going to continue to blitz, or are we going to be able to get there with our front four? Obviously, the practice squad, the second, third team, we probably can't cause that much pressure, right? So we're going to see what they're going to do when Hutch is in there, Reeder, Tyleek, Davenport, and the linebacker core, the starting linebacker core. So I'm curious to know. I hope we don't do that as much as we had to do it last year, because it really didn't work. We got to be able to create pressure with the front four, but I'm interested to see what Calvin is going to be able to do. But there's a guy that you guys are kind of counting out. You think Isaac Tesla is going to push him out of his spot as wide receiver, and that's Tim Patrick. Let's see what Tim Twentyman had to say about Tim Patrick. Says veteran wide receiver Tim Patrick talked a couple of weeks back about his slow start to camp and how he needed to pick up his play. Patrick had a terrific contested catch in the end zone on a 50-50 ball thrown by quarterback Hendon Hooker, who has been great in practice but not so much in the games. Patrick made a really nice catch and got up and spun the ball in celebration. Good to see number 12 making plays. He caught 33 passes and 3 touchdowns for the Lions last season. And he was a big deal. He was a big deal because going into last year, we did not have Josh Reynolds. We didn't re-sign him in the offseason. We didn't have him. And you could see that the team missed that intermediate guy, that Josh Reynolds type guy. Then we bring in Tim Patrick he's on the practice squad. We're going to bring him up to the roster. And I think in that second game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you could really see, even though Tim, I believe, played that game, he didn't really have a bunch of time to mesh with the team as far as like that offense and real game. So you could see that there was a difference. I think that's why we lost that game, because remember, the games that we lost, Jared Goff threw the ball a lot. He threw the ball like over 50 times. Jared Goff threw the ball like 50 some odd times that game. And I think that's why. But as soon as Tim picked it up, man, we were good to go. And I'm glad. A lot of y'all think Tesla just going to come and bully him out of his position. I think Tim is going to have something to say. You got veteran savvy versus rookie. So no disrespect to Isaac, but Tim ain't just going to go down like that, man. And I remember I wasn't very high on signing him last year because he was injured 2 years in a row. But he came, did his thing, proved me wrong, and lived up to the expectations. So I'm curious to see what he's going to do this year. But what about situational football? It says Campbell had the team run through a late practice situational period where the offense had the ball at the defense's 12-yard line with 21 seconds left in a 7-on-7 game. That game at the end of the first half. The key part was neither team had a timeout. Goff completed a short pass to running back Jahmyr Gibbs, but safety Brian Branch made a nice play on Gibbs before he could get out of bounds. Goff was forced to kill the clock on second down at the 8-yard line with just 7 seconds left. Arnold broke up a pass intended for Williams in the back of the end zone with 2 seconds left to force a field goal win for the defense. And you know what? You know whose name we're hearing a lot of? Jameson Williams. We're hearing a lot. Is it just me, or have we heard his name a whole lot when it comes to training camp? Like, it's just Williams this, Williams that. Like, J-Mo is really coming into his own in year 4. Believe it or not, we're already in year 4 for Jameson Williams. So J-Mo's, he's going to be a problem this year in a good way. And I cannot wait to see the regular season. But can we make it through the preseason? The final game of the preseason and the joint practices and the few practices we have left without injury. That is the goal for me. We potentially lost Ahmed for the season, and that's going to be a big blow. I mean, it really is, to the rookie, the confidence, and the edge rusher that the Detroit Lions took a chance on in the 6th round in the 2025 NFL draft. So I'm excited to see. It's good to hear about the defense. I mean, I like what I saw from the game. I really did. I like what I saw. Grant Stewart is everywhere. Sticky coverage from the defensive back. And, you know, that has been our Achilles heel for a long time. But Brad has kept putting resources into that. Now we got to see how this defensive line turns out. And can we bulk up there and get some quality players on the D-line? So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And here's a trivia question for you. Let me know what the answer is in the comment section. I'm doing mine off the dome, but I'm going to have you guys put the answer if you want to. Just something fun I thought of. We did it during a show earlier today. We talked about Dominic Lovett, right? We talked about him versus Jackson Meeks and the fact that Lovett is a 7th round pick. Meeks is undrafted. Brad likes to he'll keep his drafted players over undrafted rookie free agents, even if they're getting outperformed. So, off the top of the dome, what draft picks have not made the Detroit Lions' initial 53-man roster? Off the top, Jamar Jefferson, Chase Lucas. Somebody said Antoine Green. I don't know. I don't remember. He's the one that's kind of hazy. James Houston. As far as I know, those are the only 3 people that were drafted. You have 6th round and 7th rounds, respectively, that didn't make the initial 53-man roster, but they wound up back on the team via the practice squad, and then all of them were eventually elevated. We know James Houston's story. So if there's anybody I missed, let me know in the comment section. Just something I thought of as we're heading into the cuts. And don't forget, speaking of cuts, after the game, the cuts usually begin. Like, they can start right like the next day, but the game is in the weekend. And then by Tuesday at 4 o'clock, so basically a week from tomorrow, which will be the 26th of August, by 4 o'clock, the 53-man roster must be set. Don't forget, it is one, I believe it. I believe that's right. And it is one cut. It's been like that for, I want to say this is the third season now. Remember, there used to be 3 different cuts. It was one cut after every preseason game. But what they did is they kept everything together, and now there's just one chop cut at the end of the season, the preseason. That's kind of crazy because we would have had, after the Hall of Fame game, probably would have had a couple cuts. Then after week 1, couple cuts. Week 2, couple cuts. And now week 3 is the remaining. It was always like a few, then it was 9, then the biggest cut was the last one. And then directly after those cuts happen is when the practice squad is filled. So let me know what you think. And you know what? Just another question I'll throw in. Do you think the Lions carry, how many receivers you think the Lions carry? Because I think it's going to be hard for them not to carry 6 with the outside chance that they carry 7. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen them do that, but to me, it's an outside chance because you got Lovett and Meeks. They're battling back and forth. And here's another thing. Who would you give wide receiver 6 to right now? Would you give it to Lovett or Meeks? For me, I'll give it to Meeks. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. This channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. It's because of your support I get to do what I do. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. Don't forget about Syndicate Sports Detroit. We've got Motor City Cats, who joined the team most recently, and Spirit of Detroit podcast will be joining the team very soon to get you Lions content on Syndicate Sports Detroit. Just Google it, put it in a search engine and on YouTube and find it. Anyway, take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. I might need a nap. It's crazy.